Hey everybody, it's Justin Gross with Hop2TheTop, doing a quick video today on pay-per-click regarding audience segmentation. Thanks for tuning into the video. I'm going to be doing these explainer videos every now and then, just as a help to the network out here, and I welcome your comments and suggestions if you have any specific requests on types of videos you would like to see, or specific tips you'd like to hear about. Be happy to take into account your suggestions. So again, thanks for tuning into the video. What I'm going to talk about today is audience segmentation regarding PPC. So what does that mean? What does that have to do with anything? You know, how is it going to benefit you and your campaigns? Now, segmentation, of course, is a marketing concept that for anybody who has studied marketing, you would know that it's the method of splicing out your audience into different buckets based on their needs and wants, and then you provide a solution, a specific targeted message or solution to that specific need and want as a portion or subset of your potential market. So for example, if you're a car dealership, you're going to have different market segments. You're going to have the family market who might need the SUV. You might have the soccer mom market, or you might have the younger generation or college market who would go for the Honda Civic or the Honda Accord or what have you. So those are different buckets of people who you would potentially speak to in different ways based on how you're targeting and where you're targeting. But anyway, so the same sort of concept can be effectively applied to PPC campaigns. And the way that's done, I narrowed down to 5 key steps you need for segmenting out a PPC campaign. So step 1, of course, which is usually the first step with any new PPC campaign or new PPC management effort, it's on our checklist certainly, is going in and make sure all tracking is set up properly. Calls, emails, sales, whatever it is your conversion point is on the website. Clicks don't really matter if they don't translate into something physical off the campaign. So we like to track each and every possible action that might happen as a result of the click, whether that's a chat or a download or a call or a sale or what have you. So those are conversion points we put in the tracking to effectively grab all that information and then optimize based on, heavily optimize based on that portion of the analytics. So you want to know what's working, what isn't working, so to speak, and then adjust based on that. So that's number 1. Number 2 is clearly defining what those buckets are. What are your market segments? Who, in other words, who is your target client? And if it's not just one type of target clientele, what are your top segments? You know, what are the top services? You could divide it by service, you could divide it by product, or you could divide it by market or persona. These are all different concepts you could look at, but as a PPC manager, we delve into that and we figure out what the best angle is in terms of defining out the campaigns and structuring it so we're honing in from the right way to get the conversion results and profit up. But so the first step is defining, say, okay, for me, the one target clientele is a smaller, medium-sized business in the $1 to $100 million annual revenue range, has a website, needs to generate leads and sales and so forth. So really, any industry, we have specific industries to specialize in, but that's one top-level segment of the market. Another for us are agencies. We work with agencies and we do white label work for those agencies. So we take on their PPC work. They outsource to us. We become their PPC department. That's another segment of the market. Totally different. It's not a small. It's the agency side of things. So 2 totally separate markets that when I'm running my marketing, I'm speaking to those individuals in different ways, and we have our website set up in that way, that fashion as well. We have different buckets, personas of our target client and we set things up that way. So that's 2. Number 3 are the subsequently the keyword lists that would be paired up or matched up with those campaigns. So you have to be very selective in the keywords you're picking for those markets. If you're too broad, you're going to end up just bringing in people who could be fall into a number of different markets, or simply just not convert at all. So you have to be very careful with the keyword selection. And of course that gets a little bit tricky, which is for a whole nother video, in terms of when you have, with a lot of our clients, we have a situation where the keyword doesn't fully qualify the segment. So meaning someone could type in, for example, they could type in, business consultant, and that could be, that could be somebody who's a one-man shop searching for that keyword and wants some consulting time, or it could be a Fortune 500 company. So as a business, you may be trying to target the Fortune 500, but you're unable to qualify from that keyword, yet it is searched a lot. So then you have to qualify from the ad and the landing page. So that's a whole nother piece of it. So number 4 is going to be ad copy. So you're selecting and writing, crafting ad copy that matches up with those keyword lists, that matches up with those target segments. And then number 5, that's brought into a specific page on your site or landing page that matches those keywords and those ads. And coincidentally, this also matches up with the framework, Google's framework for best practices for constructing campaigns and for quality score optimization, if you have any idea what that means. So that's quality score is part of their algorithm. So Google looks for relevance. So if they see an ad and a keyword that matches a page that's relevant, they're happy and they score your ads higher, and it helps with impressions and clicks and things like that, and how often you could come up. However, if you have an ad and a keyword and you just send them to your homepage and there's not really a whole lot that speaks to what that keyword and ad says, your quality score on that landing page is likely to be lower, and possibly the quality score on the keyword is likely to be lower as well. And all this can impact a whole slew of variables in the end, including what you're paying per click, how often you come up at the top, how far you could come up at the top, if you come up above your competitor or not, how much you pay versus your competitor. So you could come up with a tightly constructed account, you could come up higher than your competitor and pay less per click for the same keyword if your quality score is a little bit higher. So that's why all of these different variables come into play as far as how everything is constructed and then optimized. Again, this is why there are people like me who are able to do this and make a living doing this, because if you don't understand a system and you don't optimize, or you don't go through an ongoing process of looking at this stuff, it's just gonna fall through the cracks. So anyway, those are the 5 keys to audience segmentation for pay-per-click: tracking and analytics, clearly defining the segments, who you're going after, who you're marketing to, keywords, ads, and subsequently landing pages. So those are the 5 key things you have to think about. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Send me a message. Thanks for listening.